EmmyLou for our 2 nights cruise up and down the Murray, and we're in cabin number 4. There's our cabin. There's Norm's bunk. Naturally, he's up top. I'm not getting up there. I'm sleeping in the Queen's quarters down below. A little sink. A bit of wardrobe space, but we're not going to be in here apart from sleeping. We're underway.
Another vessel known as the Invincible and her work barges. The Canberra was custom built as a single-deck fishing steamer for the Connor family. They lived aboard plying up and down the Murray River, catching the Murray cod and selling them off at the markets. Now on top of the riverbank here, ladies and gentlemen, is the original site of one of 19 sawmills that once prospered here in Echuca, and this was the site of Evan Brothers. Evan Brothers was here from the early 1900s, steam-powered, right up to the 1930s. In the 1990s, it came to its end when it was put up for sale. It was then purchased and transformed into a museum. It got a name from EmmyLou Harris, the country and western singer. So happened to be the gentleman's favourite singer who had the EmmyLou constructed.
In no time at all, we noticed that the time had swung along to 7 p.m. almost. So Norm checked out what Joe had to offer in the parlour of the EmmyLou, made his selection, and we sat back on the deck to let the lovely scenery slide past and the evening settle in around us. We're sailing past our Cocoa Bend campsite. That's it, isn't it?
I think so.
This wonderful tree, it's been washed away, but it wasn't going to give up, so it's just hanging there with its roots in the water, and it's still... What a wonderful tree. We're turning around past the wonderful forest of red gums. We're going to hit the bean.
Does that?
Oh, it spins around, yeah. That's my barramundi, and Normie's having chicken mignon, and that looks nice too. Yummo. Early morning on the Murray from the decks of the EmmyLou. Beautiful. We're about to go and hop on the bus, but I'm sidetracked by that beautiful scene. We're about to take a little 1 hour or so cruise around the Barmah wetlands, which are...
That's part of the Barmah Lake system, which is in the Barmah forest. The biggest red gum forest in the world.
How about that? There's some of the examples of the biggest red gum forest in the world, not just Australia. How about that? Show you more later. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Nice with the sun on them. As the name suggests, night heron, they sleep during the day, come of the evening, but we just disturb them from the sleep along with those kayaks and canoes. The other name for them is, of course, a rufous heron, indicate to us their brown, rusty-looking colour. So once you find one, as I said, you'll find a few of them. The first one is you could chop that tree down and count the growth rings. However, river red gums only grow in the right conditions. So if it doesn't rain, tree won't grow, meaning that there wouldn't be many growth rings. Or we could carry out a process known as carbon dating. Now that tree is quite lucky to be still standing. It wasn't good enough to be chopped down. It wasn't straight and it had too many branches coming off it. We're also told river red gums can normally only live to about 500 years of age. Then they will slowly rot and die.
There's a whistling kite nest up there. 3 years old currently.
So we're just about to go past that nest. May need to stretch those neck muscles up if you're on that side of the boat. Has everyone got it?
Yep.
Oh, beautiful. Got it. I had a passenger the other day. Everyone was looking at the right where the kingfisher was, and his passenger told me they hadn't. They're looking at the left, so we're not sure what they were looking at. It wasn't the kingfisher. But you might have noticed a few holes that have been drilled into the banks. Those holes have been put there by a few of our animals, depending on how big the hole is to our animal put them there. Majority of them have been drilled in by the freshwater crayfish in the yabby, the one by the water rat and the Echuca kingfisher, and the big ones, they've been put there by that European carp and the rivers at a much higher level. Like sitting there, look at it grumpy actually, look at his beak at us. See that yellow flower opening up as well.
Yeah.
This is a great wine tasting at Cape Horn, isn't it? Cheese and bickies. We're going to get pizza right beside the river. Life doesn't get any better than that, does it?
Practicing from right up.
We're coming to pick us up. Dear old EmmyLou.
Originals used this area to where they would hold their burial sites. Now, the founder of Echuca that I spoke of last night, Henry Hoppert, had a punt crossing, and it was directly where we are now, where the Canberra is moored, leading across the other side of the river here to New South Wales. As I was saying, the gentleman became a very wealthy man. He was responsible for the beautiful building known as the Bridge Hotel.
Good on you.
Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation. Darkness stirs and wakes imagination.
Now we've got a little fire happening. We've got the odd marshmallow or 20 to toast on it. Not a bad life. One could get used to this.
Fire. As he soaped and rubbed it in, he made a rude remark. I suppose the flats is pretty green up there in Ironbark. A grunt was all the reply he got. He shaved the bushman's chin, then made the water boiling hot and dipped the razor in. He raised his hand, his brow grew black, he paused a while to gloat, then slashed the red-hot razor back across the victim's throat. Upon the newly shaven skin it made a livid mark. No doubt it fairly took him in, the man from Ironbark. He fetched a wild up country yell and wake the dead to hear, though his throat he knew full well was cut from ear to ear. He raised his hand, his brow grew black. He raised his paw, he lifted up his hairy paw with one tremendous clout. He landed on the barber's jaw and knocked the barber out. He set to work with tooth and nail, he made the place a wreck. He grabbed the nearest gilded youth and tried to break his neck. And all the while his throat he held to save his livid spark. And murder, bloody murder, yelled the man from Ironbark. Appeal the man who heard the din, come in to see the show. He tried to run the bushman in, but he refused to go. And when at last the barber spoke and said, "'Twas all in fun, was just a little harmless joke, a trifle overdone." "A joke," he cried, "by George, that's fine. Bark. I'd like to catch the murdering swine some night in Ironbark." And now around the shearing floor the listening shearers gape. He tells the story o'er and o'er and brags of his escape. Them barber chaps what keeps the tote. By George, I've had enough. One tried to cut me bloomin' throat, but thank the Lord it's tough. And whether he's believed or not, there's one thing to up in Ironbark.
And so to bed, our last night on board the beautiful EmmyLou. Have a look in the screen. Look at the colours on it. Oh, it's gone. Isn't that lovely watching that boat, that houseboat, just ambling up the river?
I didn't even hear it start.
No.
I looked out and breakfast just popped.
Yeah, it's just what we need, more food, isn't it?
It certainly did.
That was called the wake up alarm. That was down here for breakfast.
How many else quiet? You want to take where I was?
This was once an old farming property, and the lease allowed them to have access right down to the river. It was then subdivided, and it's the only area on the river actually where they have access right down to the riverbank. All the other properties stop back from the river. So there's a huge big project all along this area, this part of the river, building retaining walls. Very expensive housing. Looks wonderful. Yeah, for a millionaire or two. A lot of money's gone into developing the retaining walls and beautiful gardens and housing in the background. As you can see, they've got their own houseboats and caravans and goodness knows what else. We saw yesterday people going around in their golf carts, so it's probably golf course as well attached. Very, very, very upmarket.
Start there. Back up here. There's main driving section there. See over there? I keep on making on a bit.
We're going up to the Echuca Wharf to turn around and then come back and I imagine we'll be pulling into our wharf when we come back.